What's up, guys? So, I'm gonna talk about the Division beta, which is weird, being that it's a beta, and I don't feel like I should review a beta, being that it's a beta, but I feel like I now have to, because of how stupid some people are, who are trying to review a beta, and they're just, it's like they forget what kind of game it is, but whatever. So, in this beta you get one mission to do, just one actual mission to do. The rest are all side missions or encounters or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're encounters and side missions. That's really it. You also have collectibles you can still collect in the beta. You got a few weapons you can use, like assault rifles, you got DMRs, you got sniper rifles, you got LMGs, and you got sidearms, different kinds of pistols. Oh, you got SMGs as well. Yeah. You also have these, like, ability type slots, I guess you would say. I guess they're abilities, yeah. One is a reviving grenade type thing that you can throw at other players who need health, or you can just tap the button and it gives you the health instead. Another thing is a proxy scam, which can later be upgraded if you upgrade other stuff within your base. You can unlock upgrades for it. And then you have a shield, or like ballistic shield, which once you have it out, like you would expect, you can only use a pistol. You're stupid if you think you should be able to use anything else. But whatever. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because people are fucking stupid and deciding to complain about shit that doesn't even make sense to complain about. So I'm gonna try to straighten things up for you. For one, the cover system actually does run properly. You're an idiot if you don't think it is. It does take a little bit of experimenting to learn how to use it properly, but it's not so far out there that you don't stumble across it. So, yeah, but you come out of cover, or you go into cover with the A button by tapping it. How do you switch from cover to cover? Is by holding the A button. Holding the A button. Hold it. You have to hold it the entire time that you're moving from cover to cover. If you let go of the A button while moving to cover, you will immediately stop the move from cover, because the game recognizes that as you no longer wanting to go to that cover. Maybe there's a grenade thrown there or some other bullshit. Whatever, the game recognizes you don't want that cover anymore. So it stops you from moving that way. But if you want that cover, you have to hold A. There's a little, like, time bar that wraps around the big letter A that shows up, or X, or whatever the fuck system you're using. For me it's A, because I have an Xbox. I'm going off the Xbox here, by the way. But, yeah, so you hold the cover button. Hold it. And a little, like, bar that looks like a loading bar will show up and wrap around the letter, or whatever the hell that you're using. The cover button will show up. As you move there, bar will wrap around it. Wait for it to wrap all the way around it, and you'll be in cover. Congratulations, you just moved from cover to cover. They probably should have added some sort of tutorial, but it's a beta, so I mean, the tutorial was basically a video that you couldn't skip. If you actually watched that video, it kind of explained some of the button options. But if you're like me, or most other people, you basically just zoned that whole video out. But it does explain cover to cover. I just wasn't entirely paying attention, but I did catch enough to realize it was explaining how to move from cover, and that it required pressing and holding the button. But it did explain it. Just throwing that out there. It was something that you had to watch before even playing the beta, just so you wouldn't have to complain about it. But people still complain about it, so there it is. You hold the button and it works. Shooting in the game. There's two ways to do it. If your weapon has a scope attached and you're looking using the LT or whatever to move your weapon up, so that you've got the weapon like this, hold at your shoulder, you then click the right thumbstick down and you'll look down the scope. If you don't have a scope, you can't do it. Think of it as the difference between using iron sights and not using iron sights, which is great because it's kind of like having the canted sight in Battlefield, but you automatically have it no matter what you use. So the weapons, they actually feel pretty awesome. So, like, you can feel a difference between different weapons that you're using when you have a more powerful weapon or a weaker weapon. But yeah, you can definitely feel the difference in the button. Like, it's not just stats on the screen, it's actually a feel to a weapon that you can tell there's a difference between. I picked up 2 different DMRs, and using them felt different to me, and I had to go back to my M1A, because I like the M1A, because it has like no fucking recoil at all, and even though it's weaker than the sniper rifle or the other DMR, I still like it way better because it's strong enough and it has low recoil, so I can chain shots one after the other a lot faster. The Scar H was also available to me. It's a pretty powerful gun. It's slightly weaker, but the recoil on it is stupid, and I don't like the Scar H. I don't even use the Scar H in Battlefield or any other game because it has that recoil. The Scar sucks with recoil. It's just one of those guns. But it is very powerful, and it's also a rifle, so it's like really, really easy to reload. So yeah, it's got its benefits, but the problem is its recoil. So I personally don't like guns with massive recoil, especially when they're precision weapons. I feel like it takes away from the precision of the weapon, and I like a weapon I can fire continuously and it be precise every shot, instead of me having to fire, reset, I like guns I can just fire, bang, 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 and that's why I picked the gun I have. I also use a shotgun, but that's because if you're not far enough away that I can use my sniper rifle, then you're close enough I can blow your head off with my shotgun. So plus I focus heavily on firepower, not how many bullets I can throw across the room. I can hit you, I just don't want to have to sit there and hit you 1,000 times for what it takes one of another bullet to hit. So if within that time limit I can hit you 3 times with this gun and it be really powerful, or I can hit you 300 times with this other gun and it do the same amount of damage, with, you know, I would rather take the shooting 3 times versus the 300 times. But yeah, I don't usually go for assault rifles anyway. But yeah. But I hear people. I was reading articles, reading the forums, mostly because the servers are down for maintenance and I want to know when they're coming back up. But you have to. The forums aren't exactly organized. It doesn't tell you exactly where to go. It just says go to the beta forum. So I mean, it doesn't tell you really shit about maintenance schedules. But within the game there's a maintenance schedule, and I didn't bother to look at it because I didn't think about it. I didn't think they were going to shut down the beta like right now in the middle of the day, being that they shut it down at 1 a.m. That was when I checked it. Was just before 1 a.m. I checked it and saw, hey, it shuts down at 1 a.m. So why would I do that? I guess it meant 1 a.m. today, not 1 a.m. yesterday. your timing's a little off on what day you were actually doing it. You marked it the wrong day, but hey, whatever. I mean, shit happens, I guess. 1 a.m. Friday is the morning, not night. For future reference, Ubisoft. Just throwing that out there. You marked it wrong. You're a day off. Whatever. Regardless, there are people that are dumb enough that are trying to review a beta, for one, which is just stupid. You can't really review a beta. You have to be so unbiased about it. That's just stupid. Like, you can't review a beta accurately in any way, shape, or form to represent the base game as a whole. For example, Battlefield. You got one fucking map. One map. The only thing you could review there is how well the fucking characters move around and how well each gun that you were allowed to access, which I think was only like one per each class. That's the only thing you could access. That's not really enough to be like, this game sucks. It's just enough for them to test their servers and for you to find some possible bugs. So, yeah, the game itself, The Division, based on just the beta, is extremely solid. Surprisingly so, actually. I have not stumbled across any real glitch. A buddy of mine stumbled across a glitch where his contaminated items were there and he couldn't go anywhere because it said that he has contaminated items, but he didn't, so he had to wait a few seconds for it to be like, oh, you don't have any, my bad. Because he went to an extraction zone and tried to launch one of those flares, and it was just like, no, you don't have anything. I mean, yeah, and it fixed itself. So that was one glitch. Other than that, there isn't really any glitches. I mean, it's relatively solid. Any glitch that you do find is small shit that doesn't really... It's like, oh, hey, look, there's a glitch. But it's not like, oh my god, that's fucking glitch. It's not one of those game-breaking glitches. For example, I found a bird that flew out of a trash can at me. Like, as if it spawned from within this pile of trash over here. Which they don't. As far as I know. Maybe that was their spawn point. It was from the trash area. But it was still a little weird because I was walking by and the trash cans are like right here. And I come walking by and this bird flies right at like the screen. So all I see is a bird face. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It was weird. There wasn't a bird there. I would have seen it because all the trash was like yellow and shit. Because it was like the thrown away fucking contaminated bag type shit. So, yeah, a big black crow flew out of that. And I was just like, what the fuck? So, yeah. It's very smooth. And I'm more surprised, like, that it's so smooth because it's Ubisoft. And Ubisoft is well known for having very shifty servers that don't like to work with players at all. So the fact that they actually worked on the game and realized, hey, we're making a game that's kind of, you know, multiplayer oriented, maybe we should fix our servers. I'm glad they did that because, for example, the crew, I bought the crew. You could get on, but you couldn't do anything co-op wise. It was just broke. And then when you did try something co-op wise, you couldn't invite anybody to your crew. You had to like hope like hell you got with your friends by continuously spamming one mission over and over and then exiting it and doing that continuously till you got the same mission as each other on the same server, which was really annoying. But even when you did finally get it, even in the same fucking room as that person, using the same internet, one person would, for some reason, lag like living hell. And it would be bad enough where sometimes you couldn't move anywhere. You spawned in the game and there was no fucking movement. You were just like holding the button, you could hear your car rev up, and you were just sitting there. You're just like, what the fuck? Because the servers were just like shit. Luckily, they're not as bad anymore. They're getting better with it. The crew they actually fixed, for one, so you can actually play it. It's actually fun. But they still need to work on fucking Rainbow Six Siege's servers. Those are a little fucked up. But but I think it's more like the way they designed the game kind of doesn't work with the servers very well, because they did it in such a way that's like an outdated type of system of how you do a first-person shooter. I understand kind of why they did it, but at the same time it's kind of outdated. And because it's an outdated system, it's going to be fucked up. And they shouldn't have designed the game to work off of an outdated type of hosting system that you haven't seen since Halo 2. So, yeah. And it doesn't transition between hosts. Like, if the host leaves in Siege, the whole game gets dropped. That's why nobody uses that system, is because it relies on the host's internet, for one, and it relies on the host staying in the game the entire time, for two. Which is annoying. Luckily, the Division seems to be running great. There isn't this issue with how the host works or anything. If somebody leaves your group, it doesn't fuck the entire group, even if they're the group leader. If I leave the group doesn't just dissipate. It's some other guy gets assigned as the leader, so they can take over the group and do whatever the fuck they want with the group. But the game's very solid, actually. But I'm hearing stupid shit. Like, there's people complaining about how you can only use a pistol while behind the fucking riot shield. I'm sorry, you're wielding this heavy-ass fucking ballistic shield that is able to withstand bullets. And you want to be able to hold your, like, LMG right here? Like, with one hand? You know, the gun that you can't fucking lift up properly with one hand? You want to be able to use that one-handed. Like fucking Rambo that shit or something. Actually, I think even Rambo used the fucking LMG with two hands. Fucking, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting the Predator, fucking, you know, didn't one hand a fucking, like, LMG. That one guy who was using the fucking Gatling gun had to use both his hands to operate a Gatling gun. So, I'm sorry, you can't wield a fucking primary type weapon one-handed. Otherwise, it's not a fucking primary weapon. I understand with, like, the Tech 9s and shit like that they have in the games, in this game particularly, because I feel like those weapons should be marked as more sidearms, being that they are one-handed weapons. You don't need both hands. They're small, they're compact SMGs. So, they're not like UMP-45s. They're Tech 9s. Those can be wielded single-handedly. I mean, it's not going to be as accurate as if you had two hands, but still, you can still wield it single-handedly. And I feel like that weapon should be more of a sidearm, and I feel like they should have the Tech 9s like that, marked as sidearms, where you can actually wield them in your sidearm slot. But, whatever, they don't have it. They have just pistols, as far as I can tell. Chances are there's going to be like a machine gun pistol, or you know, automatic pistol, whatever. So, yeah, but based on the weapon selection, they need. I can't really tell you what the game might or might not have later on. I mean, the game's not released. They just gave you so many weapons to choose from. You can't even access all your abilities. You can't even access all your little stats and all that shit. Almost everything is marked as not included in the beta. It gives you just enough shit to actually be able to play. That's basically it. And have some variety on how you want to play. So, sniper rifles, assault rifles, SMGs, sidearms, like pistols and shit. You know, shotguns. That's LMGs. DMRs. That's pretty much what you got. You got different types of grenades. You got a lot of different types of grenades, actually. You got different kind of health items you can pick up. You got different types of bullets, incendiary and explosive, I think it was. I haven't used them. I just actually figured out how to use them. I should have watched the tutorial video a little bit better, but whatever. But yeah. People are complaining about shit that doesn't even make sense to complain about. Like, the weapon selection is very limited. It's like, no shit, it's a fucking beta. the RPG elements are limited. No shit, it's a fucking beta that you can't access the RPG elements except for these 3 slots. You can't even access the actual RPG leveling system elements. It just does it for you automatically. It automatically levels you, basically. And you're complaining about it. Like, that doesn't even make fucking sense. You're an idiot. Just look at what you're trying to do, and you'll see that why it's not available to you. It says, this is not available in the beta. It's very clear why you can't fucking do that. Very fucking clear why it's limited, why this thing is not available, why this supposedly needs work that you can't fucking work with because it's not fucking available in the beta. You fucking idiot. Just read. But yeah, people want to fucking use their goddamn gun, their primary, like, LMG from behind a ballistic shield. That way they can be OP as fuck by wielding their ballistic shield and charging in at you with their LMG and just fucking blowing your fucking head off. Because that makes sense. You know what? I'm gonna fucking wield my shotgun and go in there and hit you a couple times. It takes like maybe 2 or 3 shots to lay you out. I have 5. That should be enough to put your fucking shield out of my way and blow your brains out. So, yeah. But people are stupid. Basically, all I'm saying is, careful what you're fucking reading. If there's somebody bashing this game for stupid reasons, just remember, it's a beta. There isn't enough available in the beta to really review this game. But based on the beta, you can tell this game is very solid. There isn't much glitches. So you're not going to find these game-breaking glitches within the beta. And I feel like, being that the beta is working as well as it is, that the game will not come out with game-breaking glitches, and that it will be very much playable. The problem that they're having right now is that they have a lot of people who pre-ordered it, so they don't have enough server keys to actually give out to people to access the beta. So the servers might be a little more packed, which might mean lag in the dark zone, but I mean, that would be easier to fix, and that also means that you can still play the co-op section of it, which is the majority of the fucking game. The beta doesn't give you a lot of options with missions, so you can't really determine on how well the story's going to go or anything like that, because it gives you one actual story mission. The rest are all little encounters or side missions, which aren't all that great. I mean, there's side missions and encounters. Another thing you get is that the AI seems stupid to some people, but I mean, it's not the dumbest AI in the world, it just isn't the most intelligent AI either. You're not going to get insanely intelligent AI. I mean, think of Destiny's AI. That's basically how they act. Well, they're a little more intelligent than Destiny's AI, but they're designed to be more bullet sponge RPG shooter AI, like Destiny's AI. So they're not going to be this insanely intelligent AI. They're still going to be on the lines of stupid, but they're not so stupid that it's like, oh, this game just I'm not playing it. It's not that stupid. The actual game mechanics work great. If you want to aim down your sights, you can. If you don't want to aim down your sights, you can still aim properly with the gun and act like it's using iron sights. The game itself works fucking awesome. I am loving the game. I am not regretting it. I paid the $100 gold game version of this. So, yeah, and I'm not regretting it. A lot of games I have when I paid the extra amount. So yeah, just be careful what you read. If somebody's trying to bash the game for any reason, chances are it's because they're elitist to some other type of game type. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of straighten things up a little bit because people are stupid. I'm gonna try not to review another beta in the future because that's stupid. Because it's not a fucking full game. You can't tell what's gonna be fucked up. The point of the beta is to fix fuck-ups. You can't review a game based on the fuck-ups that they're trying to find so that they can fix it. You're an idiot. Don't review it based on that. Tell the developers what you found, what you want. That's why it's there. That's the purpose. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys.